start with a small introduction of the capital. Budapest is divided into two parts. At the moment we are in Pest side. Pest side is the bigger side of the city and is the center of the cultural life. So the buildings are coming from the 19th century, but Hungary was part of the Austro-Hungarian monarchy. The Austro-Hungarian monarchy had two capitals. One of them was Vienna, the other one was Budapest. But Vienna was always more dominant because the emperor, Franz Joseph, and the wife of the emperor, they were from Vienna. So each time when they wanted to do some changes here in Budapest, they had to ask permission from the emperor himself. While the Buda side of the city is the smaller side, is the green side, is the hilly side, it's full of diplomatic districts. And we say like Buda is like 10% more expensive than Pest. Also you can find the old town over there, which is the first district of the city. Altogether there are 23 districts, 16 districts are in Pest, 6 districts are in Buda, and there is one district in an island. And altogether there are 7 bridges linking the two sides. The tour will end at the Chain Bridge, which was the first permanent bridge built in the city. They also call it Lions Bridge because there are two lions protecting the bridge from both sides. And there is a very interesting fact, the number 2, which can characterize the capital very much. It has two sides, Buda and Pest, 2000 years of history, 2 big islands, Mohr and Chapel Island. The population is around 2 million and there are 22 wine districts. So please remember number 2.
Okay.
Then you already know a lot of.
Next up was some information on where to go shopping and where to get your souvenirs, but because of an ambulance it's really hard to hear. All you need to remember is that Sunday is the ideal day to go souvenir shopping and shopping in general. She also talks about the central markets, which are not open on Sunday, most of them, but any other day you'll be able to visit any of those and you should be fine.
Between the opera house here in Hungary and in Austria, the size of the building, of course, not the shape of the stairs. Here the stairs are going from the two sides and they go to the main hall. In Vienna they are coming from the bidet and they go to the main hall. Hasn't been, but you know, one opera performance is around 2-3 hours, so if you are not a big fan of opera or a very opera lover person, then you will get bored. So that's why I would suggest you to try one of the guided tours in the building. They have at 2 p.m., 3 p.m. every day. And during these guided tours they give you some mini concerts as well, so you can listen to the acoustic of the building. But you can still pay many places with euros, but don't do that, okay? You're gonna pay more. I mean.
So in this part she introduces the area around the Hungarian Opera House. Now due to the wind and the traffic, the recording is not of optimal quality, so I'll quickly go over what she explained. Obviously she explained it better and in more detail than I can, but you'll have to go on the tour to know it or to understand it fully. So the first thing she talks about is the boulevard on which we're standing. Is that it was built or designed by the Prime Minister, the first Prime Minister, who lived in Vienna and Paris for a long time, and that's why this boulevard strikes a big resemblance with the Champs-Élysées. She also talks about the metro line system, in which she refers to the fact that this was the second metro line ever designed in Europe. So keeping in line with the number 2 quip from the beginning. Then she talks about Hero Square and City Parks and gives some details. And then the final 2 things is about the boss, so the famous boss. One of the more important things to note here was that on the Buda side, apparently most of the bots have Turkish influence, and on the Pest side it was mostly Roman influences. And then the last part is some additional details on the Hungarian opera itself. But again, guys, go on the tour and you'll get all of the details, including the history and all of the local details.
So this building is called the San Stephen Basilica, and actually is the largest Roman Catholic church in the city. It's the largest Roman Catholic church in the city. 80% of the Hungarians are Roman Catholic, and in 1838 there was a huge flood in the city. The flood was for 4 days. The water was around 2 meters high, and that period there was a natural hill on this side, and on the top of the hill there was a small chapel, so the people escaped over there. So later on, when the flood went away, the survivors decided to donate money and they built this amazing church. The height of the dome is 96, and there is another building in the city which has exactly the same height, the Parliament building. 96 has a connection with the Hungarian history because the Hungarian tribes originally came from Asia and settled down here in the Carpathian Basin in 896. They place the hand in a small box. You need to throw a coin, then the light is turning on, and then you can see this grayish, brownish, mummified hand of Saint Stephen. It's not something very beautiful, but it's definitely something really unique. It's very nice to have your wedding here. It's very expensive and it's very hard to get it here. You know, in 2004 there was a famous wedding here. Do you know Sophia Loren? Yeah. Her son, Carlo Ponti, he got married with a Hungarian lady in this church. What you need to know about this area here, like I mentioned to you about the Jewish quarter, that it's full of ruin bars and kosher restaurants. Here there are some wine bars. And it's very nice nowadays, like Hungarian young people, they go and they like to... There are many wine districts, like Hungary is a very small country, and imagine there are 22 wine districts. It means that you can find wine everywhere, basically. There is this bar behind you, the 0.75 bar, it's a really nice one. Also, just square over there is a place called Divino. And the Hungarian people eat a lot of meat. So if you like meat, then they are in a very good country, and basically they cook everything with meat, a lot of onions and paprika. You can see even the paprika chains over there. And actually it has a powder version over there. And it has a sweet version, a mild version and a chili version. So you mentioned the goulash soup, which is a traditional soup of meat from beef. A lot of vegetables and paprika. Then there are the different types of stews that you should definitely try. There is the beef stew, the paprika chicken stew, the pork stew. They are really tasty. And sometimes they pour a bit of red wine in this stew to make it even better. Then there is another typical wine from Hungary. It's called Topher. It's a very sweet wine. And they prepare this wine with a special method. They wait until the grapes will have this noble rot on them. So it gives a very clear taste to the wine. And they say that this wine is very good combination with the goose liver. Then there is the chimney cake, the kutas kalács in Hungarian. It's like a roll and they bake it on the fire. We say like the original kutas kalács is from Transylvania. And political life. So the buildings around our ministries, offices and banks in the Basilica with the Russian Red Army symbol on the top. So actually it's also called the Soviet Memorial. It's the only communist monument in the city. Hungary was a communist country for 50 years and the communism ended in the 1990s. So before the 1990s there were many monuments like this. But after that they collected them and they placed them in an open-air museum in Budapest. The name of the museum is Memento. If you are interested in communist history, then you should definitely go over there. And on the other side of the square, you can see a huge building complex. Actually, that's the headquarters of the Hungarian television.
Okay.
And this district is the district of the parliament as well. So now we will go and we will check out the parliament. Okay? So the Hungarian parliament was finished also in the 19th century, and the construction of the building took 17 years. Imagine every day approximately 1,000 Hungarian workers were having, and they used only Hungarian materials. They wanted to create something that the Hungarian people can be proud of, and I think they managed. It's a very beautiful building.
So because of the wind, it was a bit hard to give quality audio. But in general here she talks about the history and culture of Hungary, former Transylvania, and how the parliament building came to be. So through a competition of which you see now the alternative design. So go on the tour yourself, guys, and you'll probably be very entertained and very knowledgeable afterwards. Again, my apologies for the windy audio, which made it difficult to get proper audio. But here, when you're standing at the Danube, she basically explains the connection between the Danube, the Jewish quarter, and how the Danube also formed Budapest. Specifically about this monument, this is a monument dedicated to the Jews that were killed during the last World War, where they were basically sat on or standing at the edge of the Danube, forced to take off their shoes and then shot. So this is a monument representing those shoes that were left behind. The rest of the connections with the Jewish neighborhood and with the growth of Budapest are very interesting, so definitely check that out and ask questions when you're there.
Bridge was the first permanent bridge built in the city. They built it during the time of the 19th centuries, and before this bridge there was only a wooden bridge over here, and they could use it only in the summer time. So in winter time.
Just a final thank you to Olma and Europe Tours for this really fun and really interesting tour, a free tour of Budapest. So guys, if you like the video, please like, share and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to hit up Europe Tours as well.